Now before I start, I'd like to say thank you to all my subscribers. We've reached 1,000 subscriptions since my last video, so thank you for your support. Alright, so next to me is the newest addition to the family. This is Big Red. It's a 1995 Toyota Corolla. Back in 1997, Jeremy Clarkson reviewed this exact model on Top Gear. It was even the same color, and he hated it. He said the car was too reliable and it looked quite ugly. Now, to be honest, Jeremy Clarkson is my least favorite Top Gear presenter. I'd actually rate Chris Evans ahead of him. So yeah, his opinion doesn't really matter. But someone who would be proud of this purchase is YouTube's second largest mechanic. That's right, Scotty Kilmer. This one's for you, Scotty. So more on Big Red. This car has done 174,000 kilometers, which is quite low considering its age. And it was manufactured right here in New Zealand. Or less manufactured and more assembled here. Back in the 90s, Toyota had 2 assembly plants. There was one in Thames in the North Island and one in Christchurch in the South Island. And this car was assembled in the Thames factory, and it was sold in the Rotorua Toyota dealership. And after 24 years, I'm currently the car's 8th owner. So why did I buy this car? Well, to answer that question, we'll have to move along to the next car in line. This is my Toyota Live-In. This has automatic transmission, and Big Red has manual transmission. So you guessed it, I bought Big Red with the intention of doing a transmission swap. This has the AE4 transmission and this has the C52 transmission. Both cars have the 4A FE engine. It doesn't have as much power as its popular blacktop 4A GE cousin, but this engine gets better fuel economy. And I love how everything is spread out in here. You can even see the ground underneath. We have plenty of space for activities. So we know both transmissions are interchangeable and mechanically I should be able to do the work. But after doing some research, we might have a problem with the ECUs between the cars. For Big Red to work as an automatic, it will need the ECU and the TCM from this car. Unfortunately, because Big Red is the very best model, it's missing a few modules and sensors. So the ECU from this car probably won't work on this car. Big Red is so basic that we have no ABS brake module, we have no passenger airbags, we have no driver airbags. So this car lives up to its 1-star safety rating. We have no power windows, we have no power mirrors, we have no AC, we have no O2 sensors or a catalytic converter. Now this is really surprising. To reduce emissions, catalytic converters became mandatory in all vehicles sold in the US starting 1975. And other countries started to get them by default. My Live-In has one, so in today's terms, Big Red is an environmental disaster on wheels. My other plan is to restore the car. I'll drive it for a while and probably sell it sometime next year. The paint on the car is quite faded. My work colleague Glenda tells me her husband Jim used to polish cars in this condition, so I'll be doing a future video on that as well. I'll also restore the faded trim and I'll fix up these wheel covers or hubcaps. One of the previous owners really looked after the car. They even put an immobilizer and an alarm system in it. It used to be someone's pride and joy, and I don't want to just hack the transmission out of it. Alright, so back to this car. This is my pride and joy, after my family of course. It's my first car and after all these years I still have it. It's a Toyota Corolla Live-In, or Toyota Live-In, or just Live-In. And this car wasn't manufactured here. It's fully JDM and was imported from Japan in 2006. I have recently painted the car. I've used a one-stage paint, which means it doesn't need a primer and it doesn't need a clear coat. So I'll be putting up a video in the near future about the paint process for this. And the car has started blowing white smoke recently, so I might be doing a head gasket job on this. Alright, so the next car is my wife's Nissan Tiida/Versa. In a previous video I've done a spark plug change. I'll also be doing an oil filter change, I'll be doing a transmission fluid change, and at some stage the serpentine belt needs replacing, so I'll be doing more videos on this car in the near future. And what else is new? Well, the fence behind me. We have a 1-year-old now, so I put up the fence to keep him caged in. I was halfway done when we had a storm and the fence nearly blew over. I didn't add enough concrete. I made some urgent repairs before the fence fell over and crushed someone, and 6 months on, the fence is still holding strong. I also made a sandpit, so I'll get to play in that in my downtime. The Honda Fit was my mum's car, and now she's sold it for a second generation Honda Fit. I still have the repair manual for this car, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We have also sold the Nissan Murano, and we're looking for a replacement vehicle to tow our caravan. I can still help with that car, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And that's it from me. I'd like to thank my brother and my sister for lending me the camera gear. I'll put links to the channel in the description below. My brother will be doing a headlight restoration video sometime soon, so look out for that. I also like to thank my wife for her support, and I'll put a link to her channel as well. I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.